Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Market Today on the roundup that's happening at around 11 a.m., about 1 hour 45 minutes from market open. We'll start with the Nifty, 22,082 for you, 36 points lower, and the Nifty Bank actually 159 points higher at 48,270. Now, this is a very mature reaction that is coming in on Dalal Street, despite the very sharp sell-off on Wall Street yesterday evening, mainly on account of the new set of tariffs that have been announced by US President Trump. We'll go to that a little later, but let's focus on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty for the initial part of the trade. The Nifty has actually recovered 146 points from its intraday low, which was the opening quote of 21,974. From then on, there has been a very strong recovery that has seen about 200 points from intraday low is what the Nifty is at this point of time. So 22,000 is acting as a support for bulls and something which is very difficult for bears to break at the moment. A quick look at Bank Nifty as well. Because of a very strong show by all PSU banking stocks, the Bank Nifty is up 186 points, 48,298. Also a very sharp recovery from an intraday low of 47,942. So look at this point, 300 points on the Bank Nifty plus 64. So a 350 point recovery intraday from the Nifty Bank and about a 200 point recovery on the Nifty, despite a very sharp problem that we've seen on Wall Street. What we'll do is we'll first show you what President Donald Trump said, and then we'll proceed further into the Indian markets.
Very importantly, tomorrow tariffs 25% on Canada and 25% on Mexico, and that'll start. So they're going to have a tariff. So what they have to do is build their car plants, frankly, and other things in the United States, in which case they have no tariffs. Very importantly, tomorrow.
So President Trump has made his threat good by imposing an additional 10% tariff on China and putting into effect the 25% extra tariff that he had talked about on Canada and Mexico. Well, Wall Street fell about 1.5% as far as Dow is concerned, but an even stronger 2.9% on the Nasdaq as well as the S&P 500 index. Now, what is also painful is the SPX VIX, which is the fear index. That surged 15% higher to a 3-month high of October 7th. So those are the problems that are being grappled with Wall Street. But the Indian reaction has been fairly mature, mainly account of the fact that over the last 8 months, you've seen the Nifty correct fairly sharply. What you see is a 4th June low on the index. This is a date which was etched in Indian markets. The reaction to Mr. Modi's third term, in which he won less seats than anticipated in the national elections. Be that as it may, from these levels, you've seen a very sharp bounce coming back into the market. Apart from the PSU banking index, it's the Alpha 50, the small cap 100 index, the mid cap 100 index that are up 0.5%, 1.35%, and of course 1.64%. Remember, the mid cap 100 and the mid cap small, the Nifty small cap index have corrected more than 25% over the last 6 months, mainly on account of overvaluations and consistent selling by foreign funds. In that background, today has been an exceptional day. Just look at the winners on Dalal Street. Bombay Stock Exchange is the top gainer, 3.4%, 4,509. We have Geofinance adding 2.7% at 206. Mazgaon Docks, Garden Reach Shipbuilders, and of course Cochin Shipyard are also amongst the winners from the defense space. But taking it away is the advanced decline ratio on the broader markets. I can't remember the good one that I've seen in such a long while. 1,724 stocks are in the green, compared with 690 that are still in the red. The NSE 500, which is our broadest measure, has 336 stocks in the green compared with 163. Now, is this a flash in the pan? Is this a dead cat bounce that we are talking about? Well, only time will tell, but the fact is today bulls are having a good time on Dalal Street. I'd also at the same point of time like to mention 2 or 3 very important stocks in the Nifty PSU banking basket. Look at Union Bank, 3.9% higher at 113.4. Indian Overseas Bank, 3.7% higher at 43 rupees. Central Bank, 3.5% higher at 43.5. This is an across the board rally that's happening on lots of PSUs. I'll also request the PCR to show the Nifty PSU banking index, and this should be put in context. It's the best performing index as of now, but what needs to be done is to keep this in mind. Just allow me a moment. Let me just yes, this is the index. What you see is 5,753. This is the lowest that the index has been since 26th December 2023. The most recent all-time high was 8,053, which we saw on 3rd of June 2024, and from then on, let me just draw a long-term chart and tell you how much has this index corrected. About 31%. Remember, Fibonacci number is 33. Mostly sensible stocks, sensible indices reverse from this level. Be that as it may, please keep in mind the rally that we've seen so far in the Nifty PSU banking index and its subsequent correction. Well, are there any stocks that have hit all-time highs today? It will be a rare occurrence, but they have been. Look at the way how hospital stocks are finding favor from investors as well as traders. Remember, they have nothing to do with the Trump problem. They have nothing to do with global supply chain. All hospitals are inward looking and they are focusing on those counters which have least amount of or negligible global linkages. Narayan Hridayalaya is at 1623, a fresh record high, and within the pharma space, an unbelievable price performance from Abbott India, 31,548, up 1.2%. Remember, at one point of time, Abbott India was also a part of the F&O space. Thankfully, it is out, and therefore you have a lot of winners that way. What are the other stocks that are showing strong traction? Look at Jyoti CNC Automation, 12% higher at 863. Within the hospital chain and the pharma space, look at Vijaya Diagnostics, up 9.5%. Look at Alembic Pharma, 7.6% higher at 801.7. And of course, today is also the day of defense counters. I have marked Garden Reach for you earlier, 5.7% higher. But look at Bharat Dynamics, 5.8% higher, 1036. Look at BEL, 2.8% higher, 264. You have Hindustan Aeronautics up 4.3. In fact, I tracked 20 defense counters for you, and out of 20, 19 are in the green. Are there any stocks that have hit 52-week highs? Apart from Abbott and NH, there aren't any. Let's look at volume buzzers today. Well, strong move coming into the entire capital goods space. Look at Schaeffler India, 5.2% higher at 3250. Look at 3.5 lakh shares have been traded, which are 6.35 times the 5-day average. On Narayan Hridayalaya, you have about 2.35 times the 5-day average already traded, around 49 lakh shares. Look at Blue Star. Look at the summer in up North India. That's the reason why Blue Star and Voltas are doing extremely well. Today's volume is already 200% 5-day average at 1886, and I'm very sure Blue Star, yes, is now somewhere around its record high. So please keep an eye out on all these stocks. What else is interesting with heavy volumes? Okay, I'll mark Deepak Fertilizers, I'll mark Carborundum Universal, and I'll also mark Geofinance. So these are the stocks, ladies and gentlemen, which are buzzing in trade as far as the second hour is concerned. And of course, as I have said earlier, this is a very, very mature reaction that Dalal Street has given. There's a lot of fear mongering happening that 21,800 will be tested. Well, if that is so, then so be it. But for today, it's not happening, at least so far. And we've seen the Nifty also take rest at 22,000 levels on its 100-week moving average. 100-week moving average is essentially a 2-year low average. Actually, it's not a 2-year low, but it's a 2-year average. So maybe this should hold. And when was this tested earlier? This was tested earlier in June of 2022, when actually the Nifty was somewhere like 15,793. Well, that's too far off to be worried about, but let's hope that 22,000 holds, and from now on we have a fairly decent consolidation at current levels. Thank you so much for watching. Please remain glued to Business Television. There's a lot that's happening on the other side of the break.